Clay Center Now is sponsored by GN Bank, Clay Center, Glaven Ford of Clay Center, and Eagle Communications.
Welcome to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark, Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce Director, and I am sitting down today talking to Brett Hubka about a mural movement. So if you have been around Clay Center in the last, going on, not quite a year. What are we?
We got started, the idea got started in July.
July, yeah.
I don't know. And the first mural was installed, I guess, shortly thereafter, probably October.
Yeah. So that definitely made a difference in our community. It's such a visual thing. The murals going up. We've been really excited. It's just really beautified downtown. Get people to visit downtown and a great place to take pictures and things like that. So we are here to just get the inside scoop of, you know, why this is happening and the thought process behind it and what we are going to be seeing in the future. So
sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Excited to talk about it. The idea kind of got started. I'm a Rotary Club president, and I had talked with Dave Borgerding, our former Rotary Club president, and he said, you have 1 year, to go out there and make a difference, do a project. And so I got to thinking, my wheels got turning, and I had a couple ideas, and really they weren't really feasible. So I had another idea. I wanted to do something that would make a difference, over the next 20, 30 years or permanently, and had the idea for the murals. And really, I shot it out at a Rotary Club meeting when we were having Rotary Club meetings,
right.
Thanks to COVID. And anyhow, so I threw together a PowerPoint presentation, and I was just overwhelmed with the support at the Rotary Club meeting. You know, it kind of blew me away because I had no idea what the reception would be. And anyway, everybody was so excited and thought that, it was a great idea. And they, a lot of them said, don't worry about the financial side of it. We'll make this work. And that's kind of where it got started, I guess, at a Rotary Club meeting, and kind of has snowballed from there.
Yeah. So you kind of started at the Rotary, and they said that they were going to support you, but then you put together a separate committee because you realized this is going to be a lot of work. And kind of put together that committee. And
yep. We have a tremendous committee. All the credit goes to them. It's comprised of 7 of us local individuals, myself, you,
yep.
Shannon Stark, I always count because I never want to forget anybody, Dave Borgerding, Tracy Lebo, Jake Lormeyer, Michelle Gillard, Maria Fitzenmeyer, and is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
I hope I didn't forget anybody or leave anybody out.
And your wife Carly helps a lot with some social media.
She does. I'm not much of a social media person myself, but she's a rock star on the social media side. So we're on Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to follow us on either of those platforms, and we try to keep them active as we can.
Yeah. So Rotary said that they were going to help you, financially, and then priced some murals maybe, and decided to join the Clay Center Improvement Foundation? Correct,
yeah. We really owe Maury Flourish and everybody over there at the Improvement Foundation, because we became a part of Match Day, kind of there right before Match Day of last year. I guess it was more like Match Month, thanks to COVID. It was a virtual event this last year, but I was just overwhelmed with the community support. There are a ton of great organizations out there, ranging from Sea-Care to the zoo. I mean, other just tremendous organizations, and we raised almost $15,000 on Match Day, and we were just overwhelmed with that support, and we were able to. It kind of gave us a starting point from there, because at that point, it was just an idea, and I really owe all the gratitude to all of our donors out there, because none of this would have happened without them. There were several individuals and businesses in the area that contributed to it, and that still have since then. So it's, we owe all of our donors out there a big thank you, because it wouldn't happen without them.
Yeah. So in the 6-8 months, we've been able to do 3 murals?
Correct. So our first one, at the Rotary Club presentation, one of our Rotary members said, hey, why don't we start off with a small one? Because my original idea, and we'll get into that in a minute, was the Warcraft Wall. It had been talked about in the past, but it just never happened. And I kind of took that as a challenge, and I was like, well, we'll make it happen. I mean, we'll finance it. We'll come up with the idea. And the Rotary Club said, hey, let's maybe start off with a couple smaller ones, and it might help with the fundraising and stuff like that. Well, we had intended on doing one last year. Well, we got 3 of them done before it got too cold. And our first one that we got done ended up being the Greetings from Clay Center postcard mural by Whitney Kerr and his associates. Elliot also helped out with that. And it was just, we were all kind of blown away. If you get a chance to see it, it's across from City Hall. But we're very proud of it. It gives, it's a very popular place to take pictures. I think one of the proudest moments I had was early on when we had a foreign exchange student from Clay Center, and I came across a picture that had her in front of it, and I was just like, that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's, the younger generation, they're all about, putting stuff on the gram
Yeah.
and on Facebook. And
Yeah.
so I was like, let's give people a reason to take pictures in Clay Center. So, originally we went to Abilene, they have a great mural walking trail, and I was like, if they can do it, we could do something like that. And that's kind of also where the idea came from. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like the idea too, as you get, multiple murals and do that mural trail, it gets people in pockets of our downtown that they wouldn't necessarily see.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of visitors, they know where our courthouse is, but do they really know where City Hall is? And
Yep.
things like that. So that mural kind of takes them into different areas of our community that they may not
Absolutely.
visit.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then also got another mural that was completed shortly thereafter, right prior to Thanksgiving, by William Counter. And it's comprised of license plates. It's kind of a sculpture as well. It's got the K-15 emblem comprised of several Kansas license plates, and that's the car enthusiasts. I'm really excited for the car show and cruise night next year. I think there'll be just a ton of people taking pictures there. And coincidentally, right prior to that, Angie and the folks at Yellow Brick Road put a mural by Mindy's Murals right across the alleyway from that. So it's a tremendous spot to take pictures. So very happy with that. So if you get a chance to check those out as well. And
Right there on the highway.
Absolutely. And we can probably talk about our newest mural here in a bit as well.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, right after this break, we'll be talking about one other mural that's been put up and then future plans for more downtown murals.
Clay Center Now is sponsored by GN Bank, Clay Center, Glaven Ford of Clay Center, and Eagle Communications.
Welcome back to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm sitting down today with Brett Hubka from A Mural Movement of Clay Center. And on our first segment, we got to talk about the first 2 murals that have been put up. But we have a very exciting event coming up here on February 23rd that is focused on the Clay Center Veterans Mural. So tell us a little bit about that mural and that dedication that's coming up.
Sure. Last year when we were planning some murals, we are looking at prospective walls in town. So I guess I should put a plug in. If you have if you're a business owner in town that has a wall, don't hesitate to reach out to one of us, and we'd be happy to explore that. But anyhow, we came across the Edward Jones building and found out Dave Bloom was the owner, and so I reached out to him, and he said he'd be happy to have something. And we kind of just made small talk, and we're discussing a theme. And Dave's a Vietnam veteran, so thank you to all the veterans out there. And anyhow, he said that he would love to have a veterans mural. And I was like, great. That kind of narrows it down. And was kind of thinking about a theme, and I had a discussion with Jason Hall, the president over at TSI, and he's a former Marine, and there's an infamous photo by Joe Rosenthal on Mount Suribachi at Iwo Jima of the Marines raising the flag, and it was like perfect. I mean, this is great. And anyhow, we rolled with that. We already had a connection with Whitney Kerr, who did our Greetings from Clay Center mural. Reached out to him and said, hey, here's the idea. He said, love it. He's never done anything like that before. But we went back and forth on a concept, and anyhow, it has really blown away. In doing these, you never know what the reception's going to be, but I know Clay Center with our military history. We have the World War II highway over here. We have the tank at Dexter Park. I mean, we just have several different things that commemorate our military here. And anyhow, the community and people outside the community have really fallen in love with it. And the mural itself on the wall has the Marines raising the flag, but then the flag itself protrudes from the building atop the building. And it's pretty neat when you drive around the side of the building. You can see the flag, kind of at an angle coming off the top. And just last weekend, the public utilities removed some of the wires above it, so it's much more eye appealing and aesthetically pleasing. And our flagpole was recently painted, so it blends in real well. But it's great for photo opportunities. We found out last week that it's going to be in the Kansas Magazine, so that's really neat and some good publicity for Clay Center. But that's kind of how that mural came about. Mm-hmm. And our dedication for it is here in a couple weeks, February 23rd at 11 o'clock. It will be a little bit warmer than it is today.
Yeah.
That would be pretty miserable, but I did look at that, and it's supposed to be in the mid to high 40s. Good. So thank goodness for that. But it's going to be a great thing. Yeah.
Well, I think the response from the entire community has been great. Just public utilities coming out and helping, clear up those wires, and the city's blocking off the street that day, mm-hmm. so that there's plenty of space for everybody to spread out, social distance, and still get to enjoy the mural and the dedication. So. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it was pretty cool when they were painting the mural. I was out there, just observing them. I can barely draw a stick figure, but watching them do that was pretty neat. And then I'd see cars just creep by. And then when they would pass, you'd see, on their license plate, the veteran mm-hmm. symbol. And it was pretty moving. Making a small impact on Clay Center was, in that way, was pretty rewarding and fulfilling. Because I never envisioned, all of these doing that. So it's been pretty neat. And I had somebody in my office yesterday who said, there's been people from out of town coming, mm-hmm. to see it. So that's a pretty neat deal. And our dedication. Our guest speaker is going to be Brad Logan, former Clay Center native and Clay Center graduate, and his dad was an Iwo Jima veteran and former mayor of Clay Center. So we're really excited to have him. He's going to come be our keynote speaker, but it should be a pretty fun event. I'm envisioning about 30, 35 minutes, so people can brave the cold, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. That'll be really neat to see everybody come together. And that mural itself was featured in Manhattan Mercury, and as well as going to be in the Kansas Magazine. Yep. And Tracy Lebo took a beautiful photo of that'll be in the magazine. Is that the one that'll be in?
Correct. Yeah. Yep. She took a great picture. So look forward to that in the Kansas Magazine. We'll sure get that out on our social media platforms when it comes out. But on the Manhattan Mercury, that's how Brad Logan, he lives in Manhattan, mm-hmm. how he had kind of found out about it. Because his dad, when he was the mayor, owned a business right across the street from the mural. So mm-hmm. then he reached out to us, and one thing led to another. But and then the February 23rd, I mean, ideally we'd have this mural dedication in the middle of the summer, right. With good weather. But the date itself is pretty significant because it's the 76th anniversary of the flag raising on Iwo Jima. So the date's pretty fitting. So we're really excited to have everybody come out and bring everybody together. I mean, if there's anything that can bring a community together, it's patriotism. And,
right.
And I'll never forget. Like everybody else, after 9/11, just American flags everywhere, mm-hmm. and it'll be a pretty cool event that day. The city's going to put American flags out all around downtown. So I'm really excited to see our community get excited and rally behind it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think this whole A Mural movement has just been amazing to see the community participation, the community support, everybody coming out. And I think we had a small chamber coffee around the greetings from Clay Center, the postcard greetings mural. And so just having events around these murals and stuff is just, it's been fun, and getting Clay Center on the map, getting exposed for sure.
Oh, thank you so much. And it has been great. And from our donors that took a chance on us and that continue to contribute, and everybody else, Advanced Electric put the lights out on our Greetings from Clay Center mural. The city, with their help moving the wires. Catalyst has helped, and they helped develop our mural movement logo. So, I mean, I'm sure I'm leaving people out, but the community has really rallied behind it, and we have them to thank for it all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, right after this break, we will talk about future plans for murals in Clay Center.
Clay Center Now is sponsored by GN Bank, Clay Center, Glaven Ford of Clay Center, and Eagle Communications.
Welcome back to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm sitting down today with Brett Hubka from a mural movement of Clay Center. And we've talked about everything we've done this far with a mural movement, but let's talk about what the future holds this spring once it warms up a little bit. We're going to get at least one more mural.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. We're really excited to announce we had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and we've come to an agreement with an artist out of Kansas City for the Warcraft home store building right there on the highway. This is kind of, I don't know, probably the best location in town. You know, it's right along the highway, so.
Kind of why this all started. I feel like it was
Yep.
that wall. There's been talk for years about getting a mural on that wall, and
Correct.
We're finally making it happen.
Yeah,
so.
pretty excited about that. So, you know, thanks to the Warcraft home store folks for being willing and trusting us to do that. And we're really excited to announce that. And so stay tuned on our social media channels for that announcement. But our artist, he's actually the official mural artist for the Kansas City Chiefs. So we're really excited to have him. I showed him around town a couple months ago. And he sees things in Clay Center that, you know, when we're here every day and so used to them, we never noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give anything away, but he had his phone and he's just taking pictures of very unique items. And he posted them on his Instagram account that day. But it's I'm really excited for it. It's going to be, I don't want to spoil anything, and we're still in the designing and painting stages, which will be really fun. But it will be very colorful. Unique, abstract. There will be, you know, some interactive pieces to the mural, so people can go take pictures with it. That's the whole point, and we're really excited about it. I mean, I was looking at traffic counts prior to doing that, and I think right around 3,500 to 4,000 cars a day drive past the Warcraft home store right there on the highway, and I'm excited when people get to the stoplight. I hope they just can't take their eyes off of it, and I think
Choose to stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Maria during one of our meetings said we wanted to have that wow factor, and that's so well said. But ultimately, we want this to be an economic thing for Clay Center as well. I mean, we want people to pull in, when they see that mural, and take a few minutes to walk around downtown or Clay Center and see them, and maybe spend $1. Go out to eat, go to the brew house or the bakery or Java's, and grab a bite or a coffee, and run into Ginger's. There's so many great places here and great things that we have to offer that hopefully it'll attract some out-of-town business. We get to enjoy it every day, but hopefully these people passing through will see it and appreciate it as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's awesome. And I feel like as a committee, we knew that was a goal, and we started with that, and then it was like, oh, we want this to be perfect. We want this to be the design. I mean, to find an artist, to come up with a design, it's a process and it takes time. And so we've kind of had to be patient on this wall a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. We wanted that to be our first wall. So the idea was to put the Greetings from Clay Center mural on the Warcraft home store. And I think it still would have looked great there.
Right.
But thanks to Steve McMahon and Central Office for letting us put it over there across from City Hall, and it looks great there too, and you can still see it from the stoplight there in town, and so it really fell into place. But we want to be patient on this, and hopefully have a bit more fundraising in the meantime. But it's going to look great, I have no doubt. I'm excited to share with the community who our artist is and some of his past works. I think the community will just be even more excited for it. But stay tuned. It'll be completed this summer, possibly as late as next fall, but it will be done here in 2021. So, but we're still in the early planning stages for that.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so you mentioned donating, and that's what's made all this possible. So what all have where can they go to donate, and how can they contribute?
Great question. Donations can be taken physically to Thurlow & Associates in downtown Clay Center. or online at claycentercif.org. And that's where tax-deductible donations can be made through the Clay Center Community Improvement Foundation. But yeah, there's a couple different ways right there. They can also be mailed to Thurlow and Associates, at 432 Court Street, so here in Clay Center.
Very good. And you mentioned briefly, we talked about how we wanted to start with that building, and then we've been able to do,
Yep.
I mean, I think we've been able to do more murals than what we ever thought.
Right, that's a safe thing to say.
Yeah, and so the support's just been amazing. And you mentioned briefly, as long as we keep getting donations and keep getting support, we can kind of toy with the idea of continuing to do more murals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I first pitched the idea, it was just kind of, let's do the Warcraft Wall, and I would have been probably content with that. But as this has gone on and the community has shown their support, I mean, we really owe the community. I mean, and when I originally had the idea, the community rallied behind, the hospital, then they rallied behind the zoo, and currently we have the 4-H, exhibit hall going on. I mean, everything, that, this community has just been so supportive, and I had no doubt really that they'd get behind it if we did it right.
Yeah.
We wanted professional murals done and not, stick figures or just amateur work, and I think we've been able to do that, and I'm just really excited for not only the Warcraft Wall, but there's other big walls in town that we've considered, and like I said, if you're a business owner or an individual out there and you have a good wall in mind, let us know. Let Shannon or I know, and or another one of our community members, and we'd be happy to discuss that.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, go to, Clay Center CIF, claycentercif.org, and you can make your tax-deductible donations or drop by Thurlow and Associates to make a donation there. And thank you, Brett, for taking the time today to help get the word out. We hope to see you February 23rd at the Veterans Mural dedication at 11 o'clock. So hopefully it's a little bit warmer out then. And hopefully we see you there. So thank you for today.
Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate it. And thank you, Clay Center, for all the support.
Clay Center Now is sponsored by GN Bank, Clay Center, Glaven Ford of Clay Center, and Eagle Communications.